10 types of nam aparad. Rad means satisfaction. And apa in Sanskrit, this prefix is like the prefix dis in English. Dis means away. So aparad means dissatisfaction. When we chant in such a way that we cause displeasure or dissatisfaction, aparad, to the name, then though the name is Krishna, though the name is invested with all potencies, but nam withholds his grace, withholds his power, and withholds his kripa. So it is essential. Yes, we should chant Harinam, but be very careful to avoid 10 types of nam aparad. You see, today it's very popular, many devotees, they know the verses of Gopi Geet and Vilap Kosamanjali and other very high texts. But it's not often that we meet devotees who know the 10 offenses to the holy name. So start with the 10 offenses. You can save Gopi Geet and Vilap Kosamanjali for later. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Dharamadhye Sarvasheshta Nam Sankirtan. Out of all the practices of bhakti, Nam Sankirtan is the best. Niraparad Nam Lailai Pai Premadan. Dharamadhye Sarvasheshta Dharamadhye Sarvasheshta Nam Sankirtan. Nir aparad nam laile pai premadhan. If one will simply chant the holy name without making aparad, then praying will come. Once there was a meeting of aspiring Vaishnavas in Bengal, and they advertised, they put posters everywhere. Come to our Mela. In this Mela, we're going to have Leela Kirtan. You know, there are 4 types of Kirtan. Nam Kirtan, Rup Kirtan, Kirtan of the names, Kirtan of describing the form of Krishna, a Gun Kirtan, Kirtan describing the qualities of Krishna, and Leela Kirtan. So in some sampradayas, like the Vallabh Sampradaya, they put the stress on Leela Kirtan. They think, these Gaudiyas, they just chant Hare Krishna all the time. Gopal Govinda Jai Jai. But we are singing Nibrita Nikunja, confidential pastimes of Radha Krishna in the Kunj. This kirtan is higher. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taught that the Nam Kirtan is the highest. It includes Rup, Gun and Leela. So they advertised in this poster, we are doing Leela Kirtan, and there will be discussion of Radha Krishna's holy Leela and Jal Vihar, water sports, and Pashkrida, gambling pastimes, and Madhupan, becoming intoxicated, drinking honey wine. It was all advertised right on the poster. And there will be kirtan about this and katar about this, and we'll discuss Kila Kinchit Bhav and all these very confidential anubhavs. They're advertised like this. So then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he saw it and then he wrote a letter to them. He said in the letter, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed Srila Sanatana Goswami, Taramadde Sarvashashta Nam Sankirtan Niraparad Nam Lale Pai Premadan. Best kirtan is Nam Kirtan. If you simply chant without making offense, then praying will come. So Mahaprabhu has said it. Do you believe it? Do you actually believe it? So, this is the epidemic in Vaishnava society today, Gaudiya Vaishnavism today, that by chanting Namaparad and imagining the Astakali Leela of Radha and Krishna, we are doing bhajan. This is not bhajan. This is bogus. Srila Jiva Goswami Pad has said, Pratamam namna shravana antakarna shuddhyatam apeksham Shuddhe cha antakarane rupa shravanena tad yogyata bhavati. In the beginning, it is necessary to hear the name. Srila Prabhupada in one lecture, he said, hear, 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 become clear, clear, clear. So first thing, Chaito Darpana Marjanam. First one has to simply hear the name. Once someone wrote to Prabhupada, "Oh Srila Prabhupada, when I'm chanting I cannot control my mind. What should I do?" Srila Prabhupada wrote back, he said, "You chant with your tongue and you hear with your ear. What does your mind have to do with it?" Why are you getting mental? What does the mind have to do? You chant with your tongue and you listen with your ear. This. So, Srila Jiva Goswami is saying, Pratamam namna shavana antakarna shuddhyatam apeksham. In the beginning, the ability to hear the name depends on the shuddhata, the purity of the antakaran, the purity of the heart. So first, one should just very carefully and blissfully listen to the name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Listen very carefully, in a mood of Sharanagati, and go on hearing for about 5 or 6 hours, 64 rounds. One will chant 5-6 hours a day, listening very carefully to the name of Krishna. After a few days, Sunday now, okay, so by Wednesday, your heart can be clean. Who wants to do it? I can't do it, I'm busy. 5 hours, impossible. 24 hours in a day. I can't give 5 of them to God. So, by Wednesday, your heart can be clean, if you want. But requires Namashray, Ikantic Namashray, one-pointed surrender to Krishna's name. Just here, in the beginning, just here. When the heart is then purified somewhat, then when one chants the name, then wonderful thing will happen. In the Rig Veda, it is said, Om ahasya jananto namachid viviktan mahaste Vishnu sumatim bhajamahe Om tat sat. The rishis of the Vedas are praying, "Oh my Lord, we don't know the glories of your name. We know little, we heard, but we don't have realization. So we don't have a good understanding of the glories of your holy name, my Lord. But how wonderful it is. Namachik dviviktan means by repeating the name again and again. Srila Vishwanath Thakur gives the example, it's like rubbing. If you have mercury and sulfur, they don't mix, but if you rub them together, after some time then they mix. So by hearing again and again, gradually this name will transform the heart. It will mix with the antakaran, completely enter into the heart. And then what will happen? Sumatim bhajamahe. means we will attain a realization of the glories of the name. Jiva Goswami, in his commentary on this verse, in Bhagavad Sandarbha, he said that if you will chant the name without faith, by accident, referring to someone else, like Ajamil, what will happen? Mukti. All pap, all sins, all the karmas of all previous lives, all karmas past, present and future, they will be completely dissolved by one Nam Abhas. It has such power. And if you will chant Shuddha Nam, the pure name, then you will enter into the pastimes of Krishna in your spiritual body. So chanting Nam Abhas without faith gives mukti, and chanting the Shuddha Nam, the pure name, gives everything, entrance into Krishna's Leela. But in between these two, there's another stage. That is chanting Nam with faith, but Nam Abhas. That is called Shraddha Nam Abhas. Ajamil chanted Nam Abhas, but what? Ashraddha Nam Abhas. Nam Abhas without faith. So if one will not commit any Nam Aparad and chant, but pure name has not appeared yet, it is called Shraddha Nam Abhas. What will be the result? Something in between mukti, liberation from all karmas, and entering into the Leela. What is that? Srila Jiva Goswami Pad said, Spurti. That when one chants the name, one will have a spurti of Krishna's Swarup, beautiful form. And as one goes on chanting, then Krishna's qualities, his softness, his sweetness, his fragrance, his genius, his eloquence, all the 64 qualities of Krishna gradually manifest. Then the associates. The name begins to give a glimpse, the abhas of his associates. And then when one realizes the nature of those associates, you can follow them. That's called Raganuga Bhakti. How can you follow in the footsteps of the associates if you've never saw the associates? If you don't realize or understand the associates? So first thing, carefully avoid 10 types of Nam Aparad. So, Srila Rupa Goswami in Namastakam, he said, Yadabhasa Pyudeti Kavalitam Bhavadvanta Vibhavo Drisham Taptvandanam Api Dishati Bhakti Pranayanim Janastasyodatam Bhagwan Namatarne Kritika Nirvakta Kahya Mahimanam Prabhavati. What learned person, what poet can describe the glories of the holy name? Yada Abhas, so only the Abhas, the dim reflection of the light emanating before the pure name arises, destroys the darkness of ignorance. You see, Ajamil, he chanted Nam Abhas, his karmas were destroyed, but he didn't know anything, he was still in the darkness of ignorance. That is the Ashraddha. But the Shraddha Nam Abhas destroys the bodily conception of life. Apidishati Bhakti Pranayanim, and gives one a glimpse into the nature of pure bhakti. That means a glimpse into the spiritual world. This is the power of the Shraddha Nam Abhas. So, the disease which is in epidemic proportions in our Gaudiya Sampradaya today is those who have not very carefully taken time to understand what are 10 types of Namaparad and avoid them. They're chanting Namaparad and in their mind trying to remember Leelas. What are they remembering? Krishna is a boy. Okay, let me search around in the darkness of my previous sanskars what a boy is like. Okay, here's Krishna. Gopis are girls. Let me feel around in the darkness of my sanskar somewhere in my mind. Then put together an idea what this Leela is like. This will not produce progress. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he said, Kirtana Prabhave Smarana Hoive. By the power of Kirtan, Smaran awakens automatically. And Srila Vishwanath Thakur told the same thing. Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto, there it is said, Pravista Kana Randrena Swanam Bhava Suroruham Dunoti Shalanam Krishna Shalilasya Yata Shalat. When one hears Harikatha, that Harikatha Pravista Kana Randrena enters into the hole of the ear and then into the heart. And the lotus of the heart opens and Krishna takes his seat there on the lotus of the devotee's loving mood. And it is just like in the autumn season. In the rainy season the rain falls and all the lakes and ponds become muddy. But when the autumn season comes, then itam sharat swatsha jalam padmakara sugandhina. In the autumn season all the lakes become crystal clear and beautiful. So hearing Harikatha is like the rain. In the rain, so when you hear it, it goes in and then the heart becomes crystal clear. And see Krishna appears on the lotus of the devotee's heart. So in his commentary on this verse, Srila Vishwanath Thakur is explaining that Prahlad Maharaj has described the angas of bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Why are they in this order? Because first one has to do Shravanam, hear. So hearing just means contact of the ear with Krishna's name, form, qualities and pastimes. This is hearing. You can hear your own chanting. This is good. Better if you hear from someone else who is more advanced. This is better. So anytime you chant or someone else chants, then there's contact of the ear with the Krishna's name, form, qualities and pastimes. It's called Sravanam. But there are degrees. And the best hearing is Srimad Bhagavatam. And the best of the best is to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam from a realized devotee. So there are degrees of the excellence of Shravanam. So first, if Shravanam is performed nicely, then it facilitates the opportunity to do Kirtanam properly. And then when Kirtan is done properly, the heart is cleansed and one can do Smaran. So they come in this order, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, because each one is the prerequisite condition for the next one. Understand? So Srila Vishwanath Thakur explains that if Shravan and Kirtan have been done nicely and correctly, then Ayatna. Ayatna means without effort. Ayatna, without effort, effortlessly Smaran will take place. The awakening of the remembrance of the pastimes of Krishna. So be careful. When you chant Harinam, if you are not seeing Krishna in your heart, you are chanting Namaparad. So don't get carried away in the fantasy land of trying to make a Frankenstein out of your past sanskars, of what the Leelas might be like. Getting pieces of your own memories and putting them all together. This will not, by this anarthas will not be cleansed. So Mahaprabhu said, Trinadapi Sunichena. Be humble. One of the important aspects of humility is to properly understand one's own adhikar. What is my level? It's difficult to understand. Kanishta adhikari cannot understand what stage he is in. And Madhyam, early level of Madhyam, also may not understand clearly. So therefore Guru, Vaishnava, Sadhu Sangha is required, by which we can come to learn our adhikar and engage in bhakti accordingly, appropriately. So, Tribhuvana Mangal Karisi Harinam Prabhu Ki Jai. Oh, I'm still singing bhajans. I haven't started the class yet. Till 12:30. The class is supposed to be Bhagavad Gita today, right? Yeah?
Do you have a copy?
No, I didn't bring a copy with me.
It's